Oh, like for like. We haven't had Waite in the side, and he didn't play a lot last year, so really that'll be the bonus when he comes back. The other two lads performed pretty well last week and have got a good history, but we've been very fortunate to have a young bloke like Sam Rowe come into the side, and he was very stiff not to play last week, so one door closed, another one opens, start of a new career, albeit 26, been through a heck of a lot in life, so what a great bonus. And the second phase is that you rarely say that you replace the position. And if you do things right, then it's not a matter of who wears that jumper, as long as the jumper has a player in it that acknowledges the game role. So all injuries are disappointing, but part of our game is it's a contact sport and you're going to get injuries. Yeah, a tough one because Nick's been a very good leader around the organisation. I just think probably a bit of balance. He didn't set the world on fire on last week, but nonetheless, the players that are replacing him are players that we're pretty keen to get into the side, and you can only take 22 in, so it's always unfortunate when you have to make those decisions. Bruce, that happens all the time. You know, there's no time frame. You're always working on things that you want to get better. Every week's a different week. Every game has its own idiosyncrasies. Every game has. We all want the same result, which is victory, and it's how you achieve it. But I guess it'd be fair to say when you first come into an organisation, there's a lot of things that you want to change, not necessarily for not change sake, and not for one moment. Not acknowledging the previous coach or administration, just simply that you've got to get things the way you feel is best for the playgroup. And will it take time? Well, there's a lot of things the players have done very, very well. We got pipped on the post last week. Let's reverse it and say that we'd won that game. Now we didn't. Then everything swings back the other way. One kick can have such a bearing on you. We acknowledge that certain things weren't done well last week and they will take time, but that's not necessarily reinventing the wheel. And certain things were done pretty well last week and we will encourage that to take place again. So that's not the issue. No, you don't go around trying to please those that are saying, well, it won last year. I've got a fundamental problem with teams or clubs that have and I see it, let me just say this, I see this and I've seen it a lot this year in Australian soccer. I see it in Australian rugby. I love both sports. I see it internationally, where the focus is we've got to beat that side. It becomes it's an overburdening of that's what we're wrapped ourselves up in. We're judged simply because we've got to play Man City, play Man United. If we've got to win this game, we've got to win this game. There's a season of football. I won't allow us to get caught up in one game, and because the odds last year were, I think Collingwood winning as far as both times, they got beaten both times. Where did Collingwood finish? And where did Carlton finish? It's hardly reflective. So I'm not going to get caught up in going back to the well and saying, well, this is the way Carlton did it last year. Collingwood's side is substantially different. The Carlton side is very different. I mean, you mentioned about Betts. He kicked 9 goals last year in those 2 games. He's not playing. So, no, it's not a matter of getting caught up and tied up because we play the Collingwood side that we beat twice last year. It's more about the year. Let's get everything right for the year.
You said roll the dice last week in the second half. The game obviously opened up.
No, we didn't roll it. No. We didn't roll the dice. I don't believe in rolling the dice. I don't believe in Russian roulette. I don't believe in something that is not characteristic of the way, the principles you want to play. We turned that around because we played better football when we needed to. And we didn't play good football, and we didn't play good football early on.
I was going to say, will we see a more defensive mindset perhaps?
You'll see the mindset that is our game plan, which is, I said when I first took this job, we've got to be better defensively. To match it with the best sides of the competition, those that finished outside the 8 have rarely matched it with the opposition defensively. Because the top 8 sides generally occupy the top 4 to 6 positions defensively. If we don't aspire to that and we don't try to achieve that, then we will finish outside the 8. So no, there was no rolling the dice last week, believe me. Well, I'd like to think, Bruce, that you understand every opposition. Clearly, if you've been at a club for a long time and those players have been there for a long time, you do know them. But again, I'll come back to this, that it's no use preparing yourself for one game of football and being totally satisfied because you've beaten the old arch enemy and you finished outside the 8. It just doesn't make sense to me. I just don't get that. And probably because being in sport for a long time, I've just looked at worldwide sports, worldwide trends, and just seen this take place when the old arch enemy, and we get up, we win that. That's almost their premiership. And it's a satisfying thing. Yep, we've won that game, and they fall away, but they hang their hat on. No, we beat the local side down the road. You can't do that. It's just that's not giving your supporters the right ride. It's giving a false message to your player group. If you're going to hang your hat on that, and that's your whole coaching hat on that, then we'll pick a side and just try to do everything we can to win that one and forget everyone else. I've got to give knowledge and give respect to every opposition, regardless of who they are, what they are, and get my side ready to play that side. Not because it's Collingwood, who I coached before. It's not because of West Coast, who I coached previous to that. No, they are part of the national competition. Every player in this room needs to have a thorough understanding of the opposition. If it means that I've had some... When we play Melbourne, we will use Brad Green. Of course we will, because he's been there and he knows their players. When we play West Coast or Fremantle, Rob Wiley's association with them. So I'd be fool not to do that. But it doesn't mean we are more prepared. It just simply means we are probably better prepared because we know them, but not because we're going out of our way. It is. There are others. There are others that have had very similar type of... had some pain along the way, if you like. But this is a wonderful football story because it's his first game at 26. It's to know the bloke and to see, and I didn't know him. I knew of him, but I didn't know him. And to actually come in here and see his disposition for a start off on life and what it means to him to play football, I could be flippant and say that every day is a bonus day. He doesn't treat it that way. He treats it that he's desperate to play league football, and no matter what happened before, it's irrelevant. We know it's not, and I just think it's a fantastic story for football, and we should acknowledge that because there's not a lot of sometimes we tend to look at the negatives, and this is just such a positive for him. And I hope he holds up, and I hope that he has a wonderful game, as do all the players. And I guess we're going to be waiting till the end of the game to see how he's performed. But he's been picked because of his form. He's been picked because he's had a great pre-season. I've got to say that in October last year, when he first started training back, he was only allowed to start training in October, November last year. He was so far behind. I really had my doubts that he would meet the level of fitness that was required. But the credit to him was that he just threw himself right into it. And by January, he was almost saying, I've caught the rest of them. Well, they say you can only have one emotion at a time. I'll just have to address that when the time comes. But, the thing is, it's been pretty obvious that there's been a play to make it about me. The great thing about that is it can be about me. And my player group can be totally protected from... I haven't seen yet where anyone's been mentioning it about our team. If that is the net outcome, that the pressure comes here and not on my team, I'll live with that every day. Because...
You feel you've been unfairly portrayed through that goal?
Big one?
You feel you've been unfairly...
Only you blokes can answer that. And I'm pretty sure you know what the answer is. I'm pretty positive you know what the answer is.
Thank you.